Here's the revelation. Just recognize this. Jesus is crying out. He's again extending this revelation to the crowd. And yet we see rejection of Jesus the Christ. Rejection back in Jesus' day. You're going to see momentarily that there was rejection back in Isaiah's day. And I tell you painfully that there is rejection here today in our context. Listen to verse 37. God's word says, and this is where we focused all of last week, but though he had performed so many miracles right before them, yet they were still not believing in him. We looked at this verse, and I want to offer to you one commentator's point of view. He says that in this verse and the one that follows, this represents a watershed in the theology of the Gospel of John. Jesus' public work is completed. His signs have been displayed in the world. His discourses have been delivered, and yet the miracles have been rejected. His own people failed to believe the messenger sent by God. We were warned that this would happen all the way back in John's opening chapter, verse 11. Quote, he, Jesus, came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Friends, see the rejection that is coming. And ask yourself, look around. I asked you last week, do you not know and can you not say honestly, yeah, Jesus has shown up miraculously in my life over and over and over and over again. And yet do we not, at least as a culture, deny his very existence? Unless, of course, we need a fire extinguisher and we run to him. Or we want a Santa Claus gift or a vending machine option and we go to him. But look at a country and a culture that claims him publicly and denies him pragmatically and principally. And really, if we're honest, we're becoming a country, a people that are passionate about rejecting him. Well, friends, we are in for a shocking wake-up. It's just a question of when. 4 aspects of the portrait of unbelief. In here we realize that unbelief is bigger than any impersonal miracles. Friends, you can have been exposed to impersonal miracles and still live in unbelief. Unbelief is going to be beyond any kind of apologetic program. You're never going to tell somebody enough for them to believe. Unbelief is never satisfied. Unbelief is never satisfied. It requires the miraculous work of God to create belief, biblical belief. You cannot manage or minister anybody out of unbelief. All you can do is bring in the truth and the love of Jesus the Christ. Encourage them to cry out and plead with Jesus to change their hearts miraculously by grace. We see that unbelief beats out being in close proximity to Jesus. You can be right there with him and still live in unbelief, aka Judas. Don't doubt these things, friends. Where you doubt these truths, it will foster a false confidence in religion and make you think that you don't need to step into that surrendered, blood-bought relationship with Jesus. Lastly, unbelief bellows louder than any calling. So I know I believe because I know I was called. I bring you to Paul on the Damascus Road, the most powerful encounter with Jesus, the risen Christ, in all the Bible. And if he had died on Damascus Road, he'd have gone to hell. He wasn't saved till he got to Straight Street. You can have close proximity. You can have an amazing encounter. You can see and have been a part of miracles. 4 early parts of the portrait of unbelief.